Hello students, welcome to one more session of class 7 physics. Chapter 4, light. Video 4. Already I have given you 3 videos for this chapter light. This is the 4th video. In this video, we will see about the ray diagram for the formation of image of a point object by a plane mirror. First, let us see this ray diagram. MM dash, here you can see, is a mirror. In this mirror, we have a reflecting surface. So this is the reflecting surface. And the back one is the silvered surface. So reflection will take place from the reflecting surface. Let us consider an object O. And from O, let us consider a ray which falls on the surface of the mirror and reflects back. So this is the incident ray and this is the reflected ray. Let us draw a normal at the point P. So this is the normal. Now the angle between the incident ray and the normal is known as angle of incidence. Here I write it as I1. Similarly, the angle between the reflected ray and the normal is the angle of reflection. Here I am writing this as R2. But where's the image? For knowing the position of image, we need at least 2 rays from the objects. So let us consider one more ray which falls on the surface of the mirror and reflects back. So this is the incident ray and this is the reflected ray. In the same way, let us draw a normal at the point Q. So this is the angle of incidence I2 and this is the angle of reflection R2. But again, where's the image? You can see that these rays are diverging. If they are diverging, then they don't meet anywhere and we don't get a real image. But to the eye, it appears to be coming from somewhere behind. So, suppose this is the eye, then it appears as if the rays are coming from somewhere behind the mirror. If you produce these reflected rays, then behind the mirror we get a point I. And that very point from which the rays appear to be coming is the position of the image for the object O. Hence, this is our ray diagram. Here the image is virtual because it's formed behind the mirror and the rays of light appear to be coming from the point I. You need to practice this diagram. Remember, in the same way we can have the image for an extended object also. But here, to know the position of the image, we should consider 2 points A and B from the object, and from each of the point we need to draw 2 rays in the same way. And when these rays are reflected, then it appears to be coming from a point like A dash for the point A. Similarly, for the point B, 2 rays. When these reflected rays are produced, they appear to be coming from the point B dash. So the image for B is B dash. Similarly, for all the points in the object A to B, we get the images at the various points behind the mirror. So likewise, the image of the whole object is found behind the mirror. So this also you need to practice. Use ruler, compass and all, and then practice for this diagram. Now let us see about the speed of light. Before that, let us see something about light. Light rays always travel in a straight line path. It does not need any material medium to travel in. Therefore, it can travel in vacuum as well. And the speed of the light is around 3 lakh km per second. Yes, you heard it correct. 3 lakh km per second. Or It is also said as 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. And this is the speed in the vacuum. You know, light does not need any medium to travel. It can travel in the vacuum as well. Now let us see about the color of an object. We know that we see objects due to the reflection of the light. But does this mean that the phenomena of reflection of light is responsible for the color of the object as well? Is it so? Let us try to find out. But before that, let us study about the primary and secondary colors. After studying this, we will get to know about the reason for the color of the object as well. So let us see first of all, primary colors are G, B. Yes, red, green, blue. There are large number of colors in the nature, you know, and all these colors are obtained by mixing 2 or 3 colors in a definite proportion. When the lights of red, green and blue color are mixed, then white light is produced. The colors red, green and blue, that is RGB, are called primary colors. But why are they called so? These colors are called primary colors because they cannot be made by mixing any other colors. Now let us see how the formation of secondary colors takes place by addition. When any two primary colors are mixed in equal proportion, a new color is formed, and the color which is produced by mixing any two such primary colors are called secondary colors or the composite colors. Yes, yellow, cyan and magenta are the 3 secondary colors. See in the right hand side of this picture. Red is a primary color and green is also a primary color. If we mix them in definite proportion, we get a secondary color, yellow. Similarly, a primary color blue and the primary color green, when mixed in the same proportion, we get cyan. Similarly, the primary color red, when mixed with primary color blue, we get the secondary color magenta. So yellow, cyan and magenta are the 3 secondary colors or the composite colors. Now let us see about complementary colors. A pair of colors, pair, yes, correct, 2 colors which on mixing produce white light are called complementary colors. Like green and magenta, when mixed together we get white. Now green is a primary color and magenta is a secondary color. But these 2 colors are complementary because when you mix them with each other, we get white color. So such colors which on mixing give white are called complementary colors. Similarly, blue and yellow are complementary because when we mix blue and yellow, we get white. Similarly, red and cyan are complementary colors because on mixing them we get white. So these are the pairs of complementary colors. Remember, 2 colors. Now let us see an activity to show that the mixing of red, blue and green lights gives white light as well as secondary colors. And we will see this by using Pasco color mixture. Yes, you heard it right. Pasco color mixture. In your book, in the activity, you have seen that we are using torch and we are producing color light. But here by Pasco color mixture. Yes, this is the Pasco color mixture. You can see that it's producing a circular patch of red colored light. We can increase or decrease the intensity of the light. Now one more color of light, that is green colored light, is produced and we are increasing the intensity. As the intensity of the green light gets increased, we can see that a secondary color, yellow, is produced in between them. And when the red color is removed, again we get the green. So now let us put one more color, that is blue. Let us increase its intensity and see what color are formed. Oh, yes. We can see the secondary colors as well as the white color at the center. Yes, you can see that blue and green gives the secondary color cyan. Red and green, it's giving yellow. And blue and red gives magenta. So magenta is the secondary color. And when all the three colors are mixed together, we get white. Now, we can answer the question. That means we can say that the color of the object depends upon the color of the light falling in it and also the type of object. So, we need to know what color of light the object reflects. The color of the reflected light depends upon the color of the light which falls on the object as well. So, there will be two cases. The first case is when white light falls on the object, and the second case is when colored light falls on the object. So, let us see them one by one. First, we'll see when white light falls on the object, then what all consequences can happen. Let us see case 1. When white light falls on a non-luminous opaque object, the following situations are possible. The first one is when all the colors of the light are reflected back by the object. That means the object is capable of reflecting all the color of light. Then, in such a situation, the white light is falling on the object and it is reflecting back and reaching our eye. So, we will be able to see, yes, white. The surface will look as white. Similarly, let us see when all the color of white lights are absorbed by the object. White light falls and white light is composed of 7 colors. And when it falls on the object absorbs all of them and reflects none. Therefore, no color light reaches our eyes. So we see the object as black. Yes, absence of any color is black. Now let us see the third case. When all the color of light are absorbed by the object, only one gets reflected. So whatever color of light gets reflected, the object also appears to be of the same color. Like in this diagram, you can see the white light, which is composed of 7 colors, is incident on the object. But the object absorbs all the light and reflects only red. So the object or the surface of the object appears red. When colored light falls on the object, then let us see what happens. The color of an object also depends upon the color of the light falling on it, as I told you. So, if colored light falls on it, what happens? Let us discuss its various situations. Let us see the first situation. When a white colored object is seen in a colored light. Yes, white colored object means it can reflect all the light. So when a colored light falls on a white object, it does not absorb any light. It reflects all the light. Even the light which falls also is reflected back. So the white object seen in the colored light will appear to us of that same color which is reflected and reaches our eye. Suppose a white rose appears red in the red light and blue in the blue light. Okay, now let us see another situation. When the colored object is seen in same colored light. When a colored object is seen in the same colored light, that means it will reflect the same color light which falls on the object because it's capable of reflecting the same light. Like a red rose in red light appears red. Now let us see one more situation. When a colored object is seen in a different colored light. When a colored light falls on a different colored object, that means it's capable of reflecting other color, not the color which is falling on it. Therefore, no color is reflected, therefore it appears black, like the red rose appears black. Now we'll see about color subtraction. Now we know that the appearance of the color of an object is due to absorption and even reflection of the different colors of the light by the object. So therefore we can say that the object is capable of reflecting and absorbing a certain color of light. It depends on the pigment which it contains. So such pigments work on the principle of color subtraction. Now what is it? Color subtraction means to reflect or absorb a particular color of light in the presence of other colors of light. Now let us see this. For example, a shirt is made up of a material that is capable of absorbing the green light. Okay, it is capable of absorbing the green light. It has got certain pigments. So when white light falls on this shirt, what color will it appear? It appears magenta. Now why? White light falls, but green color is absorbed out of it. So, because white is composed of, red, blue, and green. And from that, the green is absorbed by the shirt. So what is left? Red and blue. And the combination of red and blue is, yes, you got it right, it's magenta. White light. From the white light, green is taken out. So what is left? Red and blue. And the combination of red and blue gives the secondary color magenta. So the shirt will appear magenta. I think you got it right now. Now let us see one more example which will make it more clear. Suppose if the same shirt, which is capable of absorbing green color, if cyan light falls on that shirt, what will it appear? Cyan light falls, out of that green is absorbed. Cyan is a combination of blue and green. So out of blue and green, green is absorbed. So what is left? Yes, you got it right. It's blue. So the shirt will look blue in color. So this is color absorption. Subtraction of color. Okay? So the shirt will look blue. Now what is this? A white light which is composed of 7 colors, When it's incident on the surface of a glass prism, then this white light splits into the 7 colors. Composition of white light. Yes, white light is composed of 7 colors. You heard it right. Just now I saw you in the diagram that when white light falls on the prism, because of varying wavelength, this white light splits into the 7 colors. But these 7 colors are obtained in the screen in a fixed order. Wave cure, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. And this band of 7 colors is called spectrum. Spectrum formation we can see in rainbow as well. The formation of rainbow takes place, and this is the best example of the spectrum formation in nature. Just after rainfall, a large number of water droplets remain suspended in the air. These droplets will act like tiny prisms. When sunlight falls through these droplets, passes through these droplets, the white light splits into the 7 constituents like it happened in the prism. So with a large number of water droplets contributing to this phenomena, we get a huge band of 7 colors which is called rainbow. So thank you students. This is end of our video. See you in the next class. Bye.